have lots of fun things for you to do. And one of the main events on our agenda is the presentation of some Diamond Jubilee medals. So let me tell you a little bit about that medal. A new commemorative medal was created to mark the 2012 celebrations of the 60th anniversary of Her Majesty's accession to the throne as Queen of Canada. During this year of the celebration, some 60,000 deserving Canadians will be receiving the medal. And we are pleased today to recognize 8 individuals connected to Renison in a variety of ways who are recipients of the Diamond Jubilee Medal. And we'll move into that portion of our program shortly. As well, today we planted a sugar maple tree and dedicated it to Her Majesty in recognition of her Diamond Jubilee. The tree and the plaque are just around the corner here, and I hope you'll have a chance to go and visit. We've just unveiled the plaque, and please feel free to examine that. When I started plans for this celebration, it just struck me that a Diamond Jubilee is such a rare event. It's only happened once before in our history, and that was with Queen Victoria. So it's just an unusual historical event that none of us will ever see again. So I'm glad we could all come out and be together on what looks to be a very fine day. And to get us started today, I'm pleased to introduce the 80 Kitchener-Waterloo Spitfire Squadron Band of the Royal Canadian Air Cadets. If you'd stand, please, and the band will lead us through God Save Our Queen, as well as the national anthem, O Canada. I hope you've noticed flying from the top of our flagpole the very specially designed Queen's 60th Jubilee flag, which is unique to Canada. Each one of her realms has its own design. And I'd like to call upon Mr. Bradley Barbour now, chairman of the Waterloo-Wellington branch of the Monarchist League of Canada, to say a few words. Bradley?
Well, good afternoon. beautiful weather we have today. I wish to begin by bringing greetings to you from Robert Finch, the Dominion Chairman of the Monarchist League of Canada. He truly wished to be here today, but is on his way to New Brunswick to take part in some Jubilee celebrations there. But it's a pleasure for me to be here today to represent him. Queen Elizabeth II ascended to the Canadian throne on February 6, 1952, at the age of 25, and Canada was so excited for their new queen that it was the first country in the world to publicly proclaim the accession. Throughout her life, the Queen has been a regular visitor to Canada, paying over 20 visits. Together with the Duke of Edinburgh, the Queen has traveled through every province and territory to meet people from all cultures, regions, and walks of life. While most will remember Her Majesty's most recent visit to the region to tour Research in Motion in 2010, some may remember her laying a wreath at the Kitchener Cenotaph in 1973, and a few may remember her signing a guest book with the mayors of Waterloo and Kitchener in 1959. It is a true honor that the Queen has acknowledged the great community that we have built through these visits over the decades. We should be even prouder still that one of our own, David Johnston, was appointed by the Queen as her representative in Canada as the 28th Governor-General since Confederation. During a visit to Toronto in 1973, the Queen said, "I want the crown to be seen as a symbol of national sovereignty belonging to all. It is not only a link between Commonwealth nations, but between citizens of every national origin and ancestry. I want the crown in Canada to represent everything that is best and most admired in the Canadian ideal. I will continue to make it so during my lifetime. I hope you will all continue to give me your help in this task." As I'm sure Her Majesty found during her travels, Canada is a blended family made up of very different provinces, territories, regions, and peoples. These differences can range from language to environment, and just as in any blended family, they can be sources of conflict and misunderstanding. Every part of Canada brings something different to our national and provincial tables, creating the very complicated country in which we live. The Crown is the institution of the monarchy in Canada, with Queen Elizabeth II as our head of state, and the Governor-General and the Lieutenant Governors as her vice-regal representatives. The Crown promotes the national story of Canada through ceremonies, celebrations, and symbols, which unites us as fellow countrymen and connects all Canadians of today to our long shared history. Symbols are an important part of a country as they connect its citizens to the roots that make their state unique in the world. Whether it is one of the King's highways, such as the 401, the names of the cities of Kitchener and Guelph, or even the coat of arms on the facade of Renison College here displayed at the front of the building, many day-to-day connections of the Crown are obvious. The Queen herself has many different duties to perform every day. Some are public duties, such as ceremonies, receptions, and visits. Other duties are carried out away from the cameras, but they are no less important. These include reading letters from the public, official papers and briefing notes, audiences with political ministers or ambassadors, and meetings with her private secretaries to discuss daily business, the state of her realms, and her future plans. Her Majesty signs 2 hours of paperwork each day and has over 400 public engagements each year. No other head of state in the world has as busy a schedule as the Queen, and she does all of this at the age of 86. The presence of the Queen or her representatives at events and ceremonies brings something that is very hard to describe and very difficult to mimic. There's a quality about the Crown that carries with it the weight of centuries of history and respect. It is the idea of out of the ordinary that Her Majesty lends to significant events in Canada's life, moments where citizens can stand back together to pause and reflect on what is happening in front of them. The importance of such ceremonies or events in the life of a country is incalculable, for it is through these events that the stories and messages of what that society stands for are acted out. Whether it is the state opening of Parliament, Order of Canada investiture, Remembrance Day ceremonies, or the presentation of the Queen's Diamond Jubilee Medals, these connections to the Crown and events that the Queen is somehow a part of provides us with signposts that tells us who we are, what makes us different as a country, and represent, as the Queen herself said, all that is best and most admired in the Canadian ideal. One of the missions of the Monarchist League of Canada is to defend the role of Her Majesty the Queen as the fount of justice, the cornerstone of our Constitution, and the head of our parliamentary democracy. Government is structure that societies put in place in order to regulate the exercise of absolute power. It is the need to control the use of power that has often led to the creation of a constitution. The statements within it create a concrete image of what a country stands for, how its citizens want to be run, and how power is to be used. In the United States, the entire framework for the country can be found in one document. But in Canada, the same is not true. Canada has one of the oldest operating constitutions in the world, with roots that include the Magna Carta, the judgments of St. Louis of France, and the first English Parliament, all dating back to the 1200s. It also contains the treaties between the Crown and Canada's Aboriginal people, and the Charter of Rights and Freedoms. Maybe it is because of the vast history involved that our Constitution's workings are a mystery to most Canadians. The story of our Constitution is the long story of absolute powers of the sovereign gradually being exercised by representatives of the people. Through this process, the Crown has remained as the source of authority, but the right to exercise power is now held within Parliament. Removed from governing directly, the Crown exists to represent the state while protecting the delicate balance of power that has developed in the Constitution over the centuries. This evolution of the Crown and our Constitution has made Canada one of the most progressive and enfranchised countries in the world. This year, we celebrate the Diamond Jubilee of Queen Elizabeth II, our graceful and gracious constitutional monarch. During her reign, the Queen has reached important milestones in her personal and public life. Events such as the Diamond Jubilee help reinforce the sovereign's role as a focus for national identity and unity, as people across the Commonwealth come together to mark an important occasion for their head of state. At the same time, the celebration allows us to celebrate what we have accomplished as a country and to also celebrate citizens who have made wonderful and significant contributions to their community and to Canada. While I have been a member of the Monarchist League of Canada for over 14 years, I have only served as chairman of the Waterloo-Wellington branch for 1 year. During my time in this role, I've had the pleasure of meeting several people associated with Renison, including running into some at the Diamond Jubilee celebrations in the United Kingdom. In fact, I was on the same flight as Principal Cartwright, and we traveled into central London together. Everyone I have met here has such a strong sense of dedication to community. With many members of the League engaging in a lot of volunteer work with organizations, I found that many monarchists are inspired by Her Majesty's commitment to people and to Canada. Between the spirit of Anglican tradition and a clear loyalty to the Crown at Renison, I imagine that there are many here who devote themselves to community service who have also been inspired by Queen Elizabeth II. I'll admit that I am not at all surprised that there were so many medal recipients who are a part of Renison or somehow associated with this great institution. I wish to congratulate each of the medal recipients here today for their commitment and contributions to our community and to our nation. We must always strive to make our community a better place for others and to make our nation stronger by continuing to build upon what is best and most admired about Canada. I would now like to call upon Principal Glenn Cartwright to accept this gift. I'll wait till you get up here. To accept this gift on behalf of Renison University College from the Monarchist League of Canada, a small token in honor of the Queen's Diamond Jubilee, the friendship between our organizations, and the loyalty that binds us all together. God save the Queen.
Thank you very much. This is quite a surprise. I don't know how they were able to keep this secret from me, and I came out earlier and saw something under a mysterious-looking cover, and I wondered what it was, but they wouldn't tell me. I accept this gratefully on behalf of Renison University College and assure you that it will hang in a place of honor. And thank you very much, and thank you to the Monarchist League of Canada. Thanks. Members of Parliament and good friends of the college, Peter Braid and Stephen Woodworth, are with us today, along with a representative from Harold Albrecht's office, Stephanie. And I want to also introduce our new MPP, Catherine Fife, who we congratulate on your spectacular win. And welcome. This is her very first official occasion, and we are honored by your presence. So I'll ask Peter Braid now if he would come forward and bring greetings from the Government of Canada.
Well, thank you very much, Glenn. Good afternoon, everyone. As a Member of Parliament for Kitchener-Waterloo, I'm truly honored to be here with all of you. A special welcome to you. Truly honored to be here as we celebrate the Queen's Diamond Jubilee here at Renison University College. And as Principal Cartwright has mentioned, I'm pleased to be joined by my colleague Stephen Woodworth, the Member of Parliament for Kitchener Centre, as well as a representative from Harold Albrecht's office, and joined today by my new colleague, here in Kitchener-Waterloo, Catherine Fife, MPP-elect. Welcome. I also want to extend my sincere appreciation to Principal Cartwright and to Brendon, Bedford, and the rest of his team who have worked so hard to make this community celebration such a success. As we all know, this is a special year, the 60th anniversary of Her Majesty as Queen of Canada. And this year provides Canadians with a special opportunity to recognize and to celebrate all that Her Majesty represents: dignity, perseverance, a constant through times of adversity and times of victory, and of course an unparalleled commitment to public service. And we also pay tribute to the important notion that the Crown really transcends partisan politics and is a common thread that unites us all. And to mark this anniversary, communities across the country are holding events that contribute to building a sense of pride and belonging to Canada. And I'm pleased that the Government of Canada has made funding available for these celebrations and that Renison has received a generous contribution for today's event through the Diamond Jubilee Community Celebrations Program. And to further mark this special anniversary, the Diamond Jubilee Medal was created so that it may be awarded to outstanding Canadians who have dedicated themselves to service to our community and service to our country. Medal recipients can be either community leaders or unsung heroes, people who are volunteering their time to help others, supporting local charities, or working to improve society. And these individuals are not only making a difference, they also serve as role models, motivating others to become more involved in community service. The Diamond Jubilee Medal is a wonderful way to acknowledge the people who make Kitchener-Waterloo the caring and compassionate community that we are. I'm very pleased to participate in today's event that will honor two individuals with this medal right here at Renison University College. And I'd like to personally thank each of them for their contributions to our community as we continue to build a sense of pride in what it means to be Canadian, and as we celebrate the role of the Crown in Canada in our shared traditions, history, symbols, values, and institutions. Thank you very much.
We've also received a letter from John Malloy, MPP for Kitchener Centre, and he said, "Greetings. On behalf of the Government of Ontario, I wish to congratulate the recipients of the Queen Elizabeth II Diamond Jubilee Medals that we are honouring today. I regret that I'm unable to attend this afternoon's celebration. You are gathered together to honour members of the community with the prestigious Queen Elizabeth II Diamond Jubilee Medal. The Diamond Jubilee Medal is a tangible way for Canada to honour the Queen for her service to this country. At the same time, it serves to pay tribute to outstanding citizens who have made significant contributions and achievements in their community. I know that selecting recipients for this prestigious award was not an easy task, as our community is very rich, with individuals who make significant contributions in their respective fields. I also want to say a big thank you to all the friends and family gathered here today to support our Diamond Jubilee medalists. Thank you and enjoy the celebration. Sincerely, John Malloy, MPP for Kitchener Centre." And now, the medal presentations. Senator Ann Coule's office approved the Diamond Jubilee medals to be presented to our first two recipients. And Senator Coule's had planned to be with us today, but is traveling abroad. And I know, in speaking with her and the staff in her office, they tried desperately to get her back here on time, and it just could not be arranged. And so she's very sorry that she's unable to be with us today. But she's asked me if I would present the medals on her behalf. Marilyn Thompson, could you step forward? Marilyn Thompson trained as a nurse, studies as a scholar of theology, obtained a Master of Social Work degree at Wilfrid Laurier University. Her work spans over 5 decades, and the impact of her contributions to the well-being of Waterloo region community continue to this day. Her career path took a path that was bold for women, and she forged the way for women in non-traditional roles. As Director of Social Work at Cambridge Memorial Hospital, she focused on planning and program development and was the founding chair of the hospital's research committee and a founding member of the ethics committee. Later, as Assistant Executive Director of the hospital, Marilyn was responsible for planning, public relations, social work, chaplaincy, and psychiatric services, and the opening of the seniors residential complex. As a hospital administrator, Marilyn advocated for equal pay and recognition for women administrators with solid planning and administrative experience. She advocated for social justice, and her work was characterized by passion and compassion for those who need help from illness, poverty, discrimination, or other causes. Marilyn's service to Renison University College began in the 1980s as a part-time instructor. She developed the first course on social work for the elderly and worked on the establishment of a supervised volunteer work in the Social Development Studies program. She taught for 25 years and also provided field practicum opportunities for countless social work students. As part of the Renison University College community, Marilyn served as a member of the Board of Governors and sat on or chaired various board committees. In the School of Social Work, she was a member of the Bachelor of Social Work Admissions Committee and was the first chair of the Community Advisory Committee. She has an incredible record of service to the community, including founding vice chair of the Cambridge Interfaith Pastoral Counseling Services, founding board chair of Anselma Group for Adult Services, and the District Health Council's Senior Services Committee, member of Lang's Village Community Health Centre Organizing Committee, and executive member of the Midwestern branch of the Ontario Association of Social Workers. In 1996, she was the recipient of the Cambridge YWCA Woman of Distinction Award for her lifetime of service and dedication to healthcare, social work, education, and all in the service of those around her. I'm honored to present on behalf of Senator Ann Coules and in the name of Her Majesty the Queen, Marilyn Thompson, with the Queen's Diamond Jubilee Medal. Peter Rowe. Dr. Peter Rowe emigrated to Canada from Shrewsbury, England. He always tells me how to pronounce it correctly. At the age of 17. A graduate of the University of Toronto, he completed his Master of Science in Mathematics at the University of Waterloo, followed by a PhD in Electrical Engineering, the first PhD in the university's history. Peter joined the University of Waterloo in 1959 and worked his way up to professor and co-founder of systems design. He served the university and the faculty in a variety of capacities, including a decade as Associate Dean of Engineering. Since 1999, Peter has been Director of International Exchange Programs for the Faculty of Engineering and was a visiting professor at Dartmouth College, New Hampshire, Nova Scotia Technical College, the Open University, England, the Technical University of Compiègne, France, and the École Supérieure des Ingénieurs de Marseille, France. The author and co-author of 150 technical papers and 3 books. As well as a variety of articles for the press, he has supervised about 45 graduate students, including 15 doctorates. Peter received an honorary diploma from the University of Technology of Compiègne, France, and was elected Fellow of the Royal Society for Arts and Manufactures, London, and was awarded a Lifetime Achievement Award for his contributions to systems theory by the Dalba Educational Institute, Agra, India. He was made a life member of the Sanford Fleming Foundation and an honorary senior fellow of Renison University College, where he served for approximately 30 years on the Board of Regents, later became the Board of Governors, as member, vice chair, and chair of the board. The college is greatly in his debt for his dedicated service, his leadership, and his friendship. Perpetually active in the community, Peter has supported a wide variety of community organizations, including the KW Symphony, the Youth Orchestra, and the Community Information Center. He's a Knight Commander of the Order of St. Lazarus of Jerusalem and currently Vice Commander of the Western Ontario Commandery. For his lifetime of service and dedication to engineering, education, and the arts, I'm pleased to present Dr. Peter Rowe on behalf of Senator Ann Coules and in the name of Her Majesty the Queen with the Queen's Diamond Jubilee Medal. Other people have received or will receive the Diamond Jubilee Medal, and all of them are associated with Renison. And so I'd like to ask those 6 to come forward. Dan Andreae, Brian Bedford, Gail Cuthbert-Brandt, Joan Euler, Hing Man, and Peter Ringrose. Now, let me just explain a little bit about this. These people have already received their medals. And as you may know, there's a particular protocol for the wearing of medals. You can't really wear them in the evening with evening dress and that sort of thing. You get to buy a little miniature of the medal that you are entitled to. And so we thought it would be a very nice gesture for Renison as a mark of our token of our esteem and appreciation and respect to award to each of these people who've already got the real medal a little miniature of the medal which they can wear on special occasions in the evening. So let me tell you a little bit about each person. First, Dr. Andreae is Renison Professor in the Department of Social Development Studies and the School of Social Work. He's an award-winning professor and educator, executive director, president of his profession, social worker, citizen, and volunteer. He was given this honor for his outstanding and transformational leadership in the social work profession in Ontario. As the longest-serving president in the history of the profession, he led a 10-year campaign to achieve the regulation of social work in the province of Ontario. He was also recognized for his dedicated leadership in the battle against neurodegenerative diseases and served as the first executive director of the Alzheimer's Society of Toronto, and his family supports the highly acclaimed annual Andreae Alzheimer Lecture, which is open to the public. Dr. Andreae has received the Distinguished Teaching Award at the University of Waterloo, and as a graduate of Wilfrid Laurier, has been an alumnus of the year, has received the Lyle S. Hallman Social Work Award for outstanding contribution, and last year during centennial celebrations was chosen as one of the 100 exceptional alumni of the century from among 80,000 graduates. He was an inaugural recipient of the June Caldwood Outstanding Volunteer Award given by the Premier and the Ontario Medal of Good Citizenship bestowed by the Lieutenant Governor, and he's been awarded the Champion of Change Award by the Chair of the International Alzheimer's Society, Princess Yasmin Khan. To his right is Brendon, please. Brendon Bedford. Brendon has been a longtime advocate of youth, political awareness and involvement. Beginning to volunteer for election campaigns in grade 10, Brendon organized and operated the first student vote program in his high school during the 2003 provincial election, the program's inaugural year. A founding member of the Students United for Public Education, Brendon was very active in promoting arts funding to Toronto School Board trustees and Ontario politicians, while also seeking to improve student awareness of the issues facing them and their education. Brendon was a student here at Renison University College, and while here, he designed and led voter education seminars for students at the University of Waterloo during both provincial and federal election campaigns. His commitment to public service includes working with an MPP's constituency office in his home community of Scarborough and 3 Ontario government ministries. A strong proponent of the Canadian Crown, he is a founding member of the youth-oriented GTA branch of the Monarchist League of Canada, which has been very active in promoting and informing Canadians about the role of the Crown in Canada in new and innovative ways. Brendon has recently been selected by the Ontario Legislature as the province's delegate for the Commonwealth Parliamentary Association's Youth Parliament on Governance in London this December. Brendon is now the Special Events and Alumni Affairs Coordinator for Renison University College, having completed his Bachelor of Arts and Master of Arts degrees in Political Science at the University of Waterloo. To his right is Dr. Gail Cuthbert-Brandt. Gail received her BA from the University of Toronto, her MA from Carleton, her PhD from York. She's a specialist in Canadian social and women's history and is currently completing a monograph on the history of women in the Quebec cotton industry during the years 1891 to 1951. She's written a history of Renison University College and a new edition of Canadian Women, A History. She has a remarkable series of awards to her credit, including those from Social Sciences and Research Council grants, various LEAVE grants, YWCA Women of Distinction Award, Citoyen d'Honneur, Saint-Christophe des Bardes, France, Doctor of Sacred Letters from Thornloe University in Sudbury, the Order of Huron. Dr. Brandt is one of my predecessors and former principal of Renison, the former Associate Vice President International at the University of Waterloo, and Professor Emerita of the University of Waterloo. Gail was awarded the Diamond Jubilee Medal as a past president of the Canadian Historical Society in recognition of her significant contribution in advancing the study of history in Canada. Joan Euler has devoted her time and talents to many organizations in the Kitchener community. She's currently president of the Canadian International Council, Waterloo branch, as well as a member of the Renison College University Town and Gown Society, Wilfrid Laurier University 100th Anniversary Committee, International Women's Forum, Cambridge Gallery, and the KW Symphony Orchestra. Over the years, Joan has contributed to many groups around the community, the Museum, Kitchener-Waterloo Court Club, and Kitchener-Waterloo May Court Club, to name a few. Joan is a tireless volunteer and a great asset to our community. Her participation as a member of Renison's Town and Gown Society is greatly appreciated. Thank you, Joan. Hing is president and co-founder of Cannon Poultry. He has devoted much of his life to the promotion of Chinese culture in Waterloo region. He is currently the president of the Central Ontario Chinese Cultural Centre and been an anchor supporter of this centre for over 36 years. He's a longtime supporter of the Kitchener-Waterloo Chinese School, as well as the Kitchener-Waterloo Multicultural Festival. Hing is a major financial contributor and a generous volunteer to many important organizations in the Kitchener-Waterloo community. His presence and hard work is appreciated by all those around him. Hing is a valued supporter of Renison University College's Confucius Institute and the benefactor of a Confucius Institute scholarship. Thank you. Peter Ringrose. For the last 3 decades, Peter has devoted his life to helping vulnerable children and families. Emigrating from England in 1976, Peter served as Executive Director of Family and Children's Services of Waterloo Region for 25 years. Described by his colleagues as a selfless, compassionate, and champion of children, his influence has helped to spearhead programs and services addressing abuse prevention, early intervention, parenting skills courses, and family violence and addictions. Peter demonstrates the importance of community collaboration and partnership through involvement in initiatives such as the Waterloo Region Crime Prevention Council and the Alliance for Children and Youth. Peter is currently a very hardworking Vice Chair of Renison's Board of Governors and a tireless advocate for this institution. Thank you, Peter. So I'd like to present these little miniatures to each of our recipients. Let me do that. each of our recipients gets a nice little certificate from the college as well, and I'm very pleased to have presented those. Now, enough with the speeches. I'd like to introduce to you Michael Bridge, who's going to entertain us with a musical performance. But I want to tell you a little bit about Michael first. Michael Bridge finished 4th in the world at both the 2011 Junior Coupe Mondiale held in China and the 2011 Roland Digital World Accordion Championships. He's also performed live with the Boston Pops for the hit NPR radio show From the Top. Although he's only 18, what do I mean only 18? 19, sorry, I've got to change that here. He has won every major accordion championship in Western Canada and has already released 3 solo albums. His musical travels are now leading him around the world to places like Renison, Croatia, France, Italy, Las Vegas, Florida, Washington, D.C., and many other parts of North America. Michael Bridge.
Ladies and gentlemen, what an honor to be performing at an event such as the one today. It is my absolute pleasure to be here performing for such a wonderful crowd on a wonderful afternoon and honoring these fine people and your achievements. Could we have, please, one more round of applause for all of our recipients today? There's one other little short round of applause I'd like to ask for just before we get going. Could we have one, please, for all of the volunteers who have made today's ceremony possible? Now, as an accordionist, I'm sure you can imagine, I get requests to play a lot of, well, fun music, polka music. I'm sure that you've heard of some of that with the Kitchener Oktoberfest. It's the #1 place in Canada to be for accordionists in the month of October. But today calls for a little bit more pomp and circumstance to begin. So if it's all right with you, I'd like to start out with something that is semi-classical, actually. This is one of my favorite pieces. It's by an Italian composer, Vittorio Monti, and the name of it is Czardash. Thank you. Thank you. Well, today being a celebration, we'd better play some fun pieces as well. I'd like to start out with something now a little more traditional on accordion. This is a tune simply called Let's Have a Party.
Party tonight. We'll play some music for your delight. Roll out the barrel, spread out some cheer. We'll play a song for everyone here. Come to the party, join us tonight, singing and dancing till evening ends. I'll drink a toast till the barrel runs dry. Let's have a party tonight. Here we go. Let's have a party tonight. We'll play some music for your delight. Roll out the barrel, spread out some cheer. We'll play a tune for everyone here. Could I ask everyone to clap their hands for this next little bit? Here we go.
Well, what you're hearing today is a Roland V accordion, virtual accordion, and a lot of people don't realize when they see this instrument on stage that everything you are hearing is 100% live. There's absolutely no form of backing, pre-recording, anything. Even the drums are played actually live with the left hand, and the way it works is pretty cool. As you're playing basses and chords and all of that, what happens is if you're very gentle with your finger on the button, you get... Oh, you don't get anything at all if I don't do the right switch. You get something like this, where you're just hearing bass. But if you start to hit a little harder with your finger, you start to get the drums as well. So you get to mix that in, and it's a wonderful instrument. I love performing on it. And I'd like to show you another side of what it can do. And I'd like to send this one out to all of the younger people today. Any students of Renison who are out here at the barbecue today, this one's for you. Where are you? Are you here? Renison, are you here? I can't hear you. Well, I'd like to send this one out to you. Sorry, I'm having just a little problem seeing here. It's a nice day with the sun. Here we go. child of mine. Would you like to hear this as a polka? Let's try it. Probably my favorite reason to perform on this instrument is that it can produce so many different types of sounds, and it suits so many different types of music. So I'd like to take a little step back in time. We're going to go to a tune that actually came out, would you believe it, for the first time recorded in 1928, and it was released by Glenn Miller and his orchestra. Has anyone heard of them? Who knows Glenn Miller? Yeah. Well, this is one of his, in my opinion, all-time greatest recordings, and so I'd like to do a little tune for you called In the Mood. have time for one more, Brendon? All right. By the way, everybody, if you didn't know the connection, the reason that I was asked to come here today, the main organizer of today's event and one of our recipients today, Brendon Bedford, I'm very proud to be his cousin. Well, I'm gonna finish things out with one of my favorite closing songs. Now, for the last, well, actually, you know what? Let's give you the choice. Would you like to do something really, really slow and pretty? Or would you like to do something fast and crazy? Okay, votes for slow and pretty. Votes for fast and stupid. Votes for no clue. All right, well, I guess slow and pretty won. Well, I'd like to do a little fiddle tune for you. This is one that you hear a lot on the prairies. I'm actually from Calgary. It's where I was born and raised. I'm now a second-year music student studying classical accordion performance just over at the University of Toronto, not too far out. And this is something that I hear a lot in my home area. So I'd like to bring you something from Western Canada. It's a little tune called the Orange Blossom Special. Here we go. We're going to start things out with a little thing, actually by another classical composer, Aaron Copland. It's a little thing called Hoedown, and this is going to lead in. Here we go. 2, 3. Well, out in Canada, out of the West, the violinists play it pretty fast. So would you like to try the Orange Blossom just one notch up? Would you like to try a little faster? I'm not sure. Do you want to go a little faster? Want to go one more time? All right, well, just for you, special for Renison University College. Here we go. One more.
Don't you think we just heard something very special? Michael Bridge, ladies and gentlemen. Well, our program is almost over, and I just wanted to say a thank you to all the people who helped put this celebration together, to Brendon Bedford and Carolyn Tanswell, Thanks to Heritage Canada for supporting us, and Jake Smola and our chef Craig David. And as we close the formal program, let me thank you once again for coming today and being with us. There's still some special Jubilee cake. I understand we've already cut it, but grab a piece. And please enjoy the rest of your afternoon here at Renison University College. Thanks, everybody. Bye-bye now.